Tom the Moor Molineaux was an African-American bare-knuckle boxer. He spent much of his career in Great Britain and Ireland, where he had some notable successes. Early life: born into slavery in Virginia, Molineaux was trained by his father, also a fighter, as was Molineaux's twin brother. He boxed with other slaves to entertain plantation owners. Molineaux earned his owner a large sum of money in winnings on bets, was granted his freedom, and moved to England where he expected to be able to earn money as a professional boxer. Career in Europe. Molineaux's first fight in England was on July 24, 1810, beating Jack Burrows in 65 minutes. On December 3, 1810, having been trained by Bill Richmond, another ex-slave turned boxer, Molineaux fought Tom Cribe at Shennington Hollow in Oxfordshire for the English title. According to the writer Piers Egan, who was present, Molineaux stood 5'8¼ inches tall, and for this fight weighed 14 stone 2. Egan wrote that few people, including Cribe, expected the fight to last very long. There was betting that Cribe would win in the first 10 rounds. However, Molineaux proved a powerful and intelligent fighter and the two battered each other heavily. There was a disturbance in the 19th round as Molineaux and Cribe were locked in a wrestler's hold so that neither could hit the other nor escape. The referee stood by, uncertain as to whether he should break the two apart, and the dissatisfied crowd pushed into the ring. In the confusion, Molineaux hurt his left hand. Egan could not tell if it had been broken. There was also dispute over whether Cribe had managed to return to the line before the allowed 30 seconds had passed. If he had not, Molineaux would have won, but in the confusion the referee could not tell and the fight went on. After the 34th round, Molineaux said he could not continue, but his second persuaded him to return to the ring, where he was defeated in the 35th round. The return fight on September 28, 1811 at Thistleton Gap in Rutland was watched by 15,000 people. Egan, who was present, said that both fighters weighed less by more than a stone, which means Molineaux weighed at most 185 pounds for this fight. Molineaux, though still hitting Cribe with great power, was outfought. Cribe broke his jaw and finally knocked him out in the 11th round. After the fight, Richmond and Molineaux parted. Post-boxing life: Molineaux's boxing career ended in 1815. After a stint in a debtor's prison, he became increasingly dependent on alcohol, and died penniless in the regimental bandroom in Galway in Ireland 3 years later from liver failure. He was 34 years old. Legacy: a hand-coloured etching of Molineaux by Robert Dighton is held in the National Portrait Gallery in London. A fictionalised account of Molineaux's boxing career appears in Black Ajax, by George MacDonald Fraser. Thomas Molineaux is featured in the short animation The Prize Fighter, directed by Jason Young. Tom Molineaux is featured, as a ghost, in the short story Apparition in the Prize Ring by Robert E. Howard, who was a boxing fan. Molineaux's fight with Cribe was turned into a 2014 play called Prize Fighters, by Ed Vinney. See also, List of bare-knuckle boxers. References. Further reading: Egan, Pierce, Boxiana. Or, Sketches of Ancient and Modern Pugilism, From the Days of the Renowned Broughton and Slack, to the Championship of Cribe, Volume 1, Lobel, Mary D. Crossley, Alon, eds., Victoria County History, A History of the County of Oxford, Volume 9, pages 171–188, Fraser, George MacDonald, Black Ajax, London, HarperCollins, ISBN 0-00-225585-5. External links: National Portrait Gallery, Staffordshire Pottery Boxer, Thomas Molineaux from Compton Verney, Tom Molineaux at the International Boxing Hall of Fame, Tom Molineaux at the Virginia Historical Society, account of Tom Cribe vs. Tom Molineaux fight at boxrec.com, Tom Molineaux at the Cyber Boxing Zone.